Yeah.
All right. She gave me the dirtiest look. I was about 7 years old, and it was the summertime. And my summertime routine was this. I would wake up at the crack of dawn. I would get dressed, watch some cartoons. I'd put on my, jelly shoes, and then wait for my sister and my cousins who lived upstairs to wake up. When they finally got up, we got to go outside. I was the youngest in the house, so we got to go outside, but only with them. And we would play. We would play tug of war. We would run around the perimeter of the house. We'd ride bikes. We'd play with rocks. I mean, this was a lot of fun, a lot of fun. And then at the end of the day, my mother, or both mothers, would call us in the house to eat dinner and then also to bathe. Now, this is where my day came to an end because I didn't like to bathe. Sorry. And so when she called us in to bathe, I always had some kind of a problem with it. Now, my cousin realized my strife. She understood my stress at the ripe age of 7. And she called a meeting one time. And in this meeting she shared, I have got the solution to bathing. She named it Moist. And I came to find out years later that Moist was actually Avon's Skin So Soft lotion, watered down, right? And so I didn't know it at the time, right? But the way she described Moist is all you had to do was put it on. All you had to do was put it on. And then magically nobody would know that you didn't bathe. So I was like, jackpot, this is great. This is great. The first day I was ready to try it. I was ready. So Moist came with rules, and there were 4 rules. 1, you had to turn on the water. You had to go in the bathroom, and you needed to wet your towel and then splash the water in the tub. So 4 rules. 4 rules, easy to follow. I was ready. So day 1 came, I got my stuff ready. I went in the bathroom, I turned on the water, right? I splashed the tub, I wet my towel, I put on the Moist. And then I got my stuff and left. Jackpot, nobody knew. Day 2 came and I was faster. I was like, you just go in the bathroom, I turned on the water, I splashed on the Moist, I splashed the water around the tub, I wet my towel, I got my stuff together, and I left. Jackpot, nobody knew. Then day 3 came, and this time when I was in the bathroom, I actually heard one of my aunts. She was my favorite aunt, and she didn't live in the same town. I didn't see her that often. I got so excited. I was like, she's here. I got so excited. And so I was in a rush, and I wasn't quite thinking, but I turned on the water, I got the Moist together, I, did the routine, but I was in a rush. And in this rush, I forgot a part about getting dressed. Now, I left the bathroom, and when I saw her, I was getting ready to run towards her, and I just looked at her face, and it looked so disgusted. She gave me the dirtiest look. And I didn't quite understand. I was used to her embracing me when she saw me. And she said, Timonsa, I'll nettoyer pieds. And now I'll translate that, and that basically means, little kid, go wash your feet. And what I didn't realize was in my haste, where I used to get dressed and put my jelly shoes. Now, if anyone has ever seen jelly shoes, they actually look like lace, right? They're plastic, they're cheap, but they look like lace, and this lace was caked with dirt. 3 days of dirt on my feet. And not only did she look at my dirty feet and tell me to go clean them, she lifted my arm and licked it. No, this was official confirmation that the Moist didn't work. It didn't work. That wasn't one of the disclaimers. Now, what I learned is I like to bathe, all right? I actually like to bathe. I learned a lesson about that. But two, I just learned that, the impressions that we have of ourselves when we try to mask things and put on things like moist, it's not necessarily how she saw me in that moment, and it wasn't how the world saw me. So nowadays, I just realize that there's always another perspective, and I consider that perspective. So I own my dirt.
Give it up for Nia.